I've got an absolutely monstrous haul today featuring a four-way God tier battle in Absolute Superman, Captain America literally going to hell, and an Adam Hughes variant for Zatanna that I guarantee you is going to be impossible to find. We are going to break down this entire stack, every single book I'm grabbing, and I'll tell you what's going on, why I'm excited, and most importantly, I'm going to separate the stack into the must-read stories and the absolute key issues you need to be hunting for. So let's get into it. On, pulls for the crates. All right, let's kick things off with the big guns, DC Comics. They are bringing some absolute fire this week. It's a Superman heavy week, which you know I love, but there are some real collector books hiding in the stack that we need to talk about. We're going to start with the Absolute Universe books because they are just the books tearing up the sales charts. So first up, we have Absolute Superman number 20. So this book is written by the one and only Jason Aaron with art by Rafa Sandoval. And this Absolute Universe line has been fascinating experiment. It's slightly more grounded, but somehow even higher stakes versions of the DCU. So this issue is being billed as the greatest battle the Absolute Universe has ever seen. It's a four-way smackdown between Superman, King SHAZAM, Hawkman, and a mystery redacted character. Now, the solicitations have been plain it coy, but preview pages have already shown Steel on the scene. So that might be our fourth combatant, which is an incredible matchup. What I love about this series is how Jason Aaron writes with such cosmic scale while keeping the character moments front and center. So Doval's art is perfect for this. It's clean, powerful, and makes every punch feel like it could shatter a planet. So previews show Superman and King SHAZAM throwing lightning-fueled punches on the beach, and it just looks epic. This is a definite must-read for me. It's pure, high-octane superhero action. So next up in the Absolute line is Absolute Wonder Woman number 21. Now pay attention because this one is one of our potential key books for the week. This series, written by the fantastic Kelly Thompson with art by Dylan Snook, has been a deep psychological dive into Diana's world. So the solicitation text is dripping with key issue language. Diana's worst nightmares come to light. The heroine finds a new host. Barbara faces a harsh reality. Kel loses control. That phrase, the heroine finds a new host, is the one that's setting off alarm bells for collectors. So anytime a powerful artifact or entity changes hands, it can signal a major new status quo or the introduction of a new major character. Previews show Diana on the Wild Isle surrounded by death and destruction, performing burial rites inside of fighting. This points to a really heavy story-driven issue. Thompson is a master at character voice, and Snook's art has been delivering the emotional weight. This isn't just one for the read pile. This is one to grab and watch closely. Okay, so let's keep the main DC books rolling with the big one. Superman number 39, written by Joshua Williamson, with art by the legendary Dan Mara. This is, for my money, one of the best books on the stands, period. So Williamson and Mara are a dream team. So the title for this issue is listed as The Reign of the Superboys, which is an awesome callback. But the solicitation is even wilder. It reads Superboy Prime versus DC Comics. A classic Superman villain has apparently banished Superboy Prime into comics he's never read, forcing him to jump through past events, lost reboots, and relaunches. So this is the most meta-narrative I've ever heard of for a mainline Superman book, and it's either going to be brilliant or an absolute mess, but with Williamson writing, I'm betting on brilliant. So it's a love letter to DC continuity, and Dan Mara drawing different eras of DC history is worth the cover price alone. So this is an instant purchase, a guaranteed top of the read pile book. It sounds like so much fun and could have huge implications for Prime's character. All right, so from the main universe to the outskirts, we have Superman Father of Tomorrow number 2. So this is a DC Elseworlds 6-issue miniseries, and the first issue set up a fascinating premise. It's a world where Superman didn't just land on Earth. He's actively trying to raise and protect the remnants of the Kryptonian society. It has the classic Elseworlds feel like Gotham by Gaslight or Kingdom Come, where you get to see a familiar character in a completely new light. So the first issue was all world building, establishing this new society and the unique pressures on this version of Superman. So the second issue is where the conflict really needs to kick in. These Elseworld books are always speculative dark horses. If the story hits, they can become highly sought after, and since it's a miniseries, print runs are naturally lower than main ongoing titles. So I'm reading this for the concept, but I'm bagging and boarding it for the potential. So a very solid pull. All right, so let's talk about a book that I think is going to cause some chaos on Wednesday. So this is our first major key issue alert of the video. Zatanna #3. There's a new Zatanna going series, and it's been fantastic, really positioning her as the prime magic user in the DC universe. So the story in the issue involves a magically enchanted bullet and Zatanna grappling with her immense power. But that's not why this is a key. This issue has a variant cover by the one and only Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes is a god tier cover artist. His variants don't just sell, they become instant classic. So given that is a lower number issue in a new ongoing series, stores are not going to be ordering a ton of copies of Zatanna. To get this one variant is actually going to be allocated. It will be selling out everywhere. I predict that by lunchtime on Wednesday, this variant will be selling for a huge premium on the secondary market. So this is not a drill. If you see the Adam Hughes Zatanna variant in the wild for cover price, you buy it. It's the biggest spec book of the week. Hands freaking down. So, and for something completely different, we have Bizarro Year None #2. So this is a 4-issue miniseries written by Eric. I can never pronounce his last name, and Kevin Smith with the art from Nick and Ibrahim Mustafa. Hope I said that right. So the first issue was wonderfully strange, following Jimmy Olsen and Perry White trapped on Bizarre World. This issue promises goodbye, Bizarre World, as the synopsis questions if they will ever get home. The humor is all in the backward logic, and the preview pages continue the chaotic energy of Bizarro Superman's hospitality. This is just a fun, weird comic. It's not a key issue. It's not going to change the DC universe, but it's a book that reminds you why comics are so wonderfully bizarre. So the art style is manic and detail, perfectly capture the insanity of the bizarre world. It's a palate cleanser and a guaranteed good time. A definite pull for this sheer joy of it. So that's the DC haul for this week, and it's a beast. So we got a major event level story telling deep character dives and a monster of a spec book. So right now, that Zatanna variant is the book I'm most hyped to hunt for. But Superman #39 is probably what I read first. What about you? What DC book are you most excited for this week? Is there a key issue I mixed? Just drop it in the comments below. I want to know what's on your pull list. All right, time to move on to the House of Ideas. So Marvel has a slightly lighter week for me personally, but the books they are putting out are absolute pillars of their publishing line. So these are these are the big blockbuster titles with major event implications. So first, we got to talk about the Sentinel of Liberty with Captain America #12. Now, this is a key book, big time. This is from the Dynamite creative team of Chip Zdarsky, writing and Valerio on the art. This entire run has been building towards Marvel's next big event, Armageddon. The solicit for this issue is titled Frozen in Hell. The end of the issue number 11 saw Captain America fall into a coma after a brutal fight with the Red Hulk. So this issue, he wakes up in hell, and who is there to greet him? Dr. Doom. So Zdarsky has been teasing this alliance for months. Doom has been in hell since the One World Under Doom event, plotting his war against Mephisto, and now he has a champion, Steve Rogers. This is huge. It's a team up that will redefine both characters. So the solicitation asks where his has Victor Von Doom been, and what does he want with Steve Rogers? So the answer is he wants a wage war in hell, and this issue is the official kickoff. Everything is hurling towards Armageddon, and this book is ground zero. This is not just a tie-in. This is the main story, an absolute must-have for readers and collectors. All right, so next up from the world of a Warcrawler, we have Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Verse #3. This series has been a fun exploration of the wider Spider-Man verse with Norman Osborn and Jessica Drew training a new generation of the Spider heroes. So the hook for this issue is a direct confrontation with Carnage, fresh off the Death Spiral storyline. The solicit promise this might become the deadliest book in the Spider history, which is a bold claim, but it signals high stakes. I'm pulling this mostly because I love the concept of a Spider-Man training academy, and it's a great way to fresh out some of the new Spider characters who don't always get the spotlight. So for the collectors out there, keep an eye on the variants. There's a Badari and a Medina and a Perez variant listed for this issue. And anytime you have multiple popular artists doing variants for your Spider-Man book, there's a chance one of them catches fire. For me, this is primarily a read, a fun continuation of a cool side story in the Spider-Verse. So finishing up on my Marvel pull list is X-Men number 32. The solicit information for this one has been a bit more general, but the current era of X-Men has been one of the most consistently excellent periods in the franchise history. So the issue may involve a focus on Department H and a science team, which is always a recipe for interesting high concept mutant drama. With the fall of X having shaken up everything, every issue feels critical. So the political landscape of Kokora, relentless attacks, and the splendoring of the mutant nation have made for compelling reading. So I'm so invested in this overarching narrative that I can't miss a single issue. The X line is dense, but it's rewarding. This isn't a book I point out as a major key for speculation, but for anyone following the story of mutant kind, it's absolutely essential reading to keep up with the grand unfolding drama. It's a core title for a reason. Okay, now for one of my favorite parts of the week, the indie and licensed books. So this is where you find the hidden gems, the passion projects, and sometimes the next big thing. So the big two are great, but you have to support the wilder world of comics. So first up is a crossover that my 8-year-old self would have lost his mind over. So it's Thundercats versus Silverhawks. Thunderhawks number 3. This is a tie-in to the larger crossover event from Dynamite Entertainment. So the main series has been a blast of pure 80s cartoon nostalgia, and this tie-in focusing on a new team, the Thunderhawks. So the synopsis for this issue says the Thunderhawks are being overwhelmed by an army of dark birds, and two of their members, I think it's Flashback and Ligon, are in deep trouble. This is just pure unadulterated fun, and I'm not trying to be dense, just literally work. It's about two iconic properties smashing together, and it's absolutely delivers what it promises. So the art captures the animation models perfectly while giving them a modern comics. And if you grew up with these characters, this book is a shot of pure joy. I'm buying this strictly for the love of the game. So next we journey to a galaxy far, far away with Star Wars Galaxy Edge, Echoes of the Empire number 3. So I've been really enjoying this series. It's a great way to flesh out the world building of the Galaxy Edge theme park land, but it stands on its own as a solid Star Wars adventure story. So these mini series are often where creators get to play with their new characters and concepts that can sometimes find their way into the larger canon. So for collectors, the key with Star Wars books is always first appearances. So while I don't have a confirmation of a major new character in this issue, you always have to keep your eyes peeled. So there's also a Yagawa Connecting Pride variant and a U Leia variant for this issue, which are worth looking out if you're a cover collector. For me, it's a solid Star Wars story that expands the universe, and that's always a win. So now for some pure indie speculation. This is White Sky number 4. I've been talking about this book from Image Comics since the first issue. So it's a supernatural post-apocalyptic title involving ghosts and a mysterious destructive white light that sweeps through the cities. So writer William Harms and artist J.P. Mell and Lodge have created a genuinely creepy and intriguing world. The first issue set a lot of pieces in motion, and while it wasn't a perfect 10, the concept is incredibly strong. So this is the kind of high concept indie book that if it finds an audience, that it can become massive hit. Think about something killing the children or The Walking Dead you're getting into on the ground floor. Issue number 4 is just a crucial point for a new series. So this is where the story needs to escalate and prove it has legs. I'm reading it because I'm hooked. But I'm not also holding on to these early issues because Image Comics has a long history of relaunching the next big thing. So another Marvel book, but it feels like an indie, is Doom Quest #2. So this is a really strange one. The premise involves Doctor Doom on a journey through time and space, and this issue apparently finds him on the Titanic. It's weird, it's unexpected, and it feels like a story where the creators are being allowed to just go wild. Pearl Stonehouse and Sarian are listed with variants, which suggests Marvel is putting some muscle behind it. I'm picking this up out of sheer curiosity. When a mainstream publisher launches a book this wonderfully strange, it deserves support. It's a gamble, but it's the kind of creative swing I love to see. And finally, a book I know very little about, but I'm grabbing based on the title and publisher alone, Final Boss #7. So this is an Image comic title, and with a name Final Boss, you know you're getting some high energy video game inspired action. Image has been on an incredible hot streak, launching a ton of new successful universes like the Energon universe and the Ghost Machine titles. While Final Boss isn't part of those, it represents the publisher's commitment to bold, original ideas. I haven't read the first 6 issues, so I'm going in blind, but sometimes that's the best way. It's a vote of confidence in a publisher that consistently delivers exciting new stories. I'll report back to you next week and let you know if the gamble paid off. Okay, so the moment of truth. So after going through this absolutely massive, wallet destroying stack of incredible comics, I have to just pick one of the week. It's a tough choice. Absolute Superman #20 is going to be a spectacle, I would say. The Zatanna variant is undisputed king of the keys this week, but for my personal wait to sit down and read it pick, I have to go with Captain America #12. So Chip Zdarsky and Valero are crafting a modern masterpiece. The stakes literally life and death, and the fate of hell could not be higher. The team up between Captain America and Doctor Doom is something I have been waiting to see handled for this level of seriousness and importance. So it's the official start of Marvel's next huge event, Armageddon, and it feels genuinely significant. So this isn't just another issue, it's a pivotal moment for the Marvel Universe. So the story is moving, the art breathtaking, the implications are universe wide. It's the perfect blend of high stakes plotting and deep character work. So for all those reasons, Captain America #12 is my pick of the week. And that is it for the haul. So it's absolutely an incredible week for the comics. We got universe shadowing battles, weird indie gems, and some of the hottest collector books of the year. So my read pile is officially overflowing, and I could not be happier. So basically, thank you so much for hanging out, going through the stack with me. If you enjoyed this breakdown of my personal pulls and key issues, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps support the channel. And if you want to make sure you never miss what's hot on New Comic Book Day, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell for notification. So now, all you got to do is get out there, support your local comic shops, keep copping comics, keep collecting, but always remember to read your comics. I'll see you all in the comments. 1.
Thanks for watching, guys, but don't go anywhere. Make sure you check my other videos to the playlist to the right. Have a good day. Peace.